All right. So I'm Dr. Evil sitting in my man cave. That is Captain Paul sitting in his mom's basement with Cheeto dust on his fingertips. How you doing, Cap?
Well, first off, this is my office.
Come on, show the Cheeto dust on the fingers. Oh, hold on. Let me make sure that the audio is where it's supposed to be. All right. Yeah, I'm not hearing you, brother.
Oh no, that's my fault because I muted it because I was chewing. That's that. See, you fucking up the show already because you're making me
No,
feel
you're the
self
one.
conscious
You're,
now.
you're the one that got the fucking Cheeto
These are
dust on your
jalapeno chips.
fingertips.
These are jalapeno chips. You stupid racist. No, but no. Like these are like jalapeno chips, and they're
I'm
delicious.
I'm, I'm
And I just
racist
got
against
off.
neckbeards.
Yeah, you are, bro. You're racist against gingers, bro. Like my people have suffered enough from yours. All right. Nah, but um, nah, man. Like I'm not gonna lie, I'm extremely tired coming off like a 14
Yeah,
hour shift.
yeah,
But we wanted to kind of talk about this subject of
yeah.
plow
And the
plow,
reason,
gun down.
well, well, I mean, I think that it made sense for us to talk about this because when I sent this to you yesterday, you're like, "Oh, I know those artists," and I don't know anything
Yeah.
about these artists, but uh, you start to see a thumbnail that's just black, and I got shot, and what it feels like, and that kind of thing, and it kind of drew me in just based on that. I did not know who this guy was, but when I sent you the link, you're like, "Oh, I know these group of artists."
Yeah, no, they was it the Digital Circus? It's like an animated YouTube series, and it has a massive following. You should check it out. I don't know if it'd be necessarily your cup of tea, but it's got a massive, massive following. And I kind of knew about this story because it was shared from that animation group's like page and stuff of that nature. But obviously, you sent me the link to the video, which I did not watch before. I just heard of the story, and it was I'm not gonna lie, bro. It was pretty metal. Like you're drawing yourself like shot with like a grimace and stuff like that. That was wild. I'm not
Yeah,
gonna lie.
yeah, that
And
that that was hard to watch, man. I gotta say that was a very very difficult watch, and I kind of wanted to go over it a little bit. I didn't know if you would want to. I don't know how much of the facts that you know, but the link to the video is in the description. So whether or not we actually review the video here, please go back and watch the original footage, even if you don't know who this artist troupe is. There were a lot of things that hit me
yeah,
personally with this here.
mm,
When he starts doing the animation, I was trying to figure out like who is he drawing because obviously this is a late 20s white man talking. You can hear his voice. And he starts to draw kind of like an afro that is reminiscent of the Boondocks.
damn.
I mean, when you look, like I said, the,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
video link is down in the description. And then he shows pictures of himself toward the end of the video, and then it hit me even harder. I think a couple days ago we talked about when I did a face reveal on my YouTube channel when I started streaming. What was it, Black Ops 3?
yeah,
And so many people were surprised that I look the way that I do based upon the way that my voice sounds.
mm,
And this particular situation had already brought back bad memories of a time that I was nearly unalived. I know I got to use the YouTube words for these things.
gotta love that.
By neighborhood criminals while I was minding my business. And so, listening to him talk about what he went through as far as what led up to him being, a victim of gun violence and, taking that shot in his leg, it brought back some bad memories for
Yeah,
myself. multiple bad memories. But the one going back to 2019 when I nearly had a bullet come through my windshield as I was trying to drive to a Coheed and Cambria concert on a
Mm.
Friday evening. And I remember making a left-hand turn onto Mother Gaston Boulevard, trying to get away from Broadway, going, Bushwick,
Yeah.
in Bushwick, and trying to get away from the crazy traffic underneath the elevated train station there.
Mm.
And as soon as I made the left-hand turn, the bullet whizzed right by my car. This piece of garbage is running down the street with a pistol, and you
Yeah.
know that you're in the wrong place at the wrong time when you can actually see the muzzle flash,
Yeah. Which is crazy.
right? Like, I, yeah, with his Cheeto dust fingers.
That's crazy, bro. I just worked 14 hours, dog. I'm tired, and yes, I'm having the rare Coke I fucking try to get out. Continue.
Yeah.
Damn.
And, it's bad. I make the left hand turn on the Mother Gaston Boulevard, and the bullet was, I mean, I think that if I would have stopped at the stop sign for another second and a half,
Mm.
I would have taken one of those bullets right through my windshield.
Mm.
I mean, I was this close to being taken off the census because some dude thought it was a good idea to run down the street with a handgun and fire indiscriminately. And then I found out from the detective that contacted me while I was at the concert. It was the show where Mastodon was touring with Coheed, and I was going out to Coney Island and trying to make my way out there. And I got a call from the detective during the show, and come to find out that the three shots that I watched whiz past me actually hit three other people down the block.
That's crazy, bro.
Now, the two guys he was shooting at, he didn't hit those guys. Those guys were running for their life. One of them almost got hit by my car.
Mm.
And I'm driving, an SUV. And this dude, darts to his left. The other dude runs around the corner to his right. And these guys are running for their lives. And some asshole's running down the street, just shooting down the street like that's the thing to do at 5:30 in the afternoon.
Mm.
Right? So when the young man here, Genus, when he is talking about him just wanting to go out to get some food at 2 o'clock in the morning, and taking out his camera because look at all of this beautiful snow, right?
Mm.
I gotta say that I was very upset by how he blamed himself
And that,
by what
yeah,
for what happened.
it's because this is kind of where we want to have the conversation, right? Because if you look at the comment section, it's very divided, not divided actually, but just very. You'll see very like, oh, it's America, typical America, things of that nature. Uh, Excuse me, and we kind of I wanted to have like a more of a I would say just general conversation about making sure you put yourself or protect yourself and not put yourself in certain situations. And like I think I've told you in the past, I don't know if I've had this on the pod, but I was held up at gunpoint at like Slater Park, right? Gun like right to my head. Kind of laughed because I'm like, well, this is wild. I was just like a natural reaction, just laughed at the guy when he had
One
it.
one second, 1 second, Cap.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, you guys have wrenches for a reason. Moderators, do your job. Continue, Cap.
But when it kind of comes down to it, you know, while I would say in a perfect world, you should never blame the victim, and I'm not
Right.
saying like it's necessarily his fault, but you gotta really be careful these days, just in general, right? Where you put yourself in certain situations because there is a lot of evil and a lot of just messed up people that will do horrendous things to other people just for no goddamn reason. So I don't think he should blame himself, but I do think that at some point you have to realize like going out at 2 a.m. I don't know exactly where he lives, but he even says it's not necessarily the best neighborhood. Maybe just order the food or maybe just kind of make something in the kitchen. Don't put yourself out in situations where you can get violated in that regard. Again, I'm not blaming him per se, but unfortunately, we live in a day and age, regardless of whatever country you live in, uh, if people feel like you can be victimized, some people will try that. That's just kind of the sad fact of life, right? Whether it was a gun, a knife, or whatever, it's just I feel tactically. I feel like you have to really think tactically these days, just in general, because you just don't know what that person's on, how that person's mental state is, and if you live in a kind of a rougher area, you got to be kind of careful. And I can say this from experience with some of the situations I put myself that I look back and I'm like, yeah, that was probably not the smartest thing to be in that certain spot at that time, right?
Mm-hmm.
While again, I'm not blaming him for getting shot. I mean, no one should ever get shot just for like walking late at night. I just think that you got to try to protect yourself as much as possible and realize that there are other people out there that are totally willing to do violent actions towards you for absolutely no goddamn reason. Or
Mm-hmm.
you could just become a part of some violence that has nothing to do with you, and like kind
Mm-hmm.
of similar to your situation. I mean, you had a stray bullet like pass by, your ear, right? If you got shot and killed, that you were just driving 5:30 in the middle of the day in New York City, right? It's like it's not your fault necessarily. So I understand sometimes things just happen, but you got to really be careful and make sure that you put yourself in the safest situation you possibly can. I
Right.
don't know. I don't know if I'm making sense with what I'm saying, but
Well, I'm going to piggyback off of the. I know he's trolling a little bit in the comments, but I'm going to piggyback off of this right here, and this is the angle that I'm going to come from. Right. I get that we are all responsible for our personal security. I think that being alert. Nobody is more security conscious when I go in the street than myself. However, the older I get, like remember we were just talking about this yesterday. The older I get, the more conservative I get.
mm,
And also growing up in the neighborhoods that I grew up in, and saw that a lot of the people that were victimized by gang violence
mm-hmm,
were people who were not part of gangs, especially the neighborhoods where I'm from, where the Bloods gang was starting to really creep all over the Bronx in the 1990s, the mid to late 1990s,
mm,
and they, usually, especially if you go back to the West Coast where a lot of these gangs originate from,
mm-hmm,
your job is to go and find the ops. Whoever the ops are, usually is red versus blue, like Democrats and Republicans, right?
mm-hmm,
But the guys that don't get any respect are the ones that attack regular or what they call neutrals. People who stop regular ass people in the street, knowing that they're not in the gang life, and
yeah,
attacking those people, right?
mm-hmm,
So I'm going to go with the premise of this and say that I'm not going to blame the victim for being victimized because evil exists.
yeah,
And, if those guys would have broken into his apartment and did a burglary at 2 o'clock in the morning,
mm,
what's the difference?
yeah,
Right? Like, what was he supposed to do? Move to a rich neighborhood? I mean, it's, I cannot blame the victim. He was outside trying to get some fresh air to go get something to eat. He is not at fault. And again, the whole, I mean, the only reason why he's alive is because he was as alert as he was,
True.
right?
Yeah.
But when you're prowling around the streets looking for someone to victimize, and I get it. I come from these neighborhoods. I know how these people are disadvantaged. But there is a visceral reaction, especially because of the things that I've survived and that I lived through, where I can understand why certain people would say, you know what? Let's do things the El Salvador way
Oh
on
yeah.
steroids, right?
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
find out that you are a validated gang member. Let's not spend a lot of time and money and resources investigating. Just put some hot lead in the back of the head next to the ear and be done with it. Because when you listen to the way the young man talks
Mm.
about everything that he went through once the slug went through his calf muscle.
Mm.
And you would think a flesh wound, oh, it's just a flesh wound, it's not a big deal.
Oh, I mean,
But
dude, it's a
actually
bullet going through your
listening,
skin, yeah.
actually like listen to what he says once he finally got somebody to help him.
Mm.
And he starts, he realizes he's going to live, but then there's the unforeseen circumstances of trying to recover from a flesh wound, so to speak. A lot of people don't really know what it is like to be hit by firearm fire,
You know, like ammunition, yeah. Yeah.
right? Like we don't know what it's like to get hit with a slug. And the way that he describes, there's more than just, oh, I got shot. There's a lot of shit that comes behind that.
Mm.
So this guy, the whole trajectory of the rest of his life has been altered because these guys thought it was a good idea to go outside and look for people to victimize. You have no use. The world doesn't have use for these people. And again, I come from the same places they come from. I come from the same disadvantages they come from. I know what the call of the streets is like.
Mm-hmm.
But the more that I hear about the consequences innocent people have to pay, it really boils my blood, and I don't know where to put that anger.
Well, you know, I honestly, I know we can blame systematic reasons and things of that nature, but you also have a subsect of the culture that champions that type of behavior. Let's just kind of call it what it is, right? Where they, really just romanticize gun violence, shooting up other people, and doing evil and terrible things. And I definitely don't think that helps. I also think with how the internet now has become, I don't know, has desensitized a lot of this younger generation where you're seeing this crazy violence. Because back in the day, right? Obviously, there's always been some gang violence and there's always been some crazy stuff that goes on. But there was kind of like a certain code about it, like you talked about, where it's like, you don't touch civilians, you don't shoot up
Mm-hmm.
civilians. I feel
Mm-hmm.
like all those quote unquote morals, I'm not saying they were moral back then, but all those kind of ethics and codes they had back then have gone out the window because we're just desensitized to the violence. And then they're just going to be, oh shit, I'm just going to do what I want and I don't give a damn who gets hurt.
Yep.
And that's the biggest problem. I feel like that you have a certain part of the culture that really does celebrate this type of act.
Yeah.
I would also say this: an interesting kind of conversation that came out of this is like guns and stuff of that nature. I saw a lot of that in the comment section of it, and like America, like oh, only in America and things of that nature. Um, you know, I would say this. I think violence happens pretty much everywhere in rougher areas in no matter what country, whether you
No matter
have
what city, no matter
whatever,
what the racial breakdown is.
regardless if you have a firearm, a knife, like if you want to do evil deeds, you will do evil deeds, right?
Yep.
And I think that like as somebody that I would say like oh it's just because all these guns and things of that nature, it's like Now, when you have people out there like that, regardless of
Well,
where
well,
they
there's
live and their
I
access to
like
their weapons,
Cap address this comment
mhm.
because I think that we were just getting there, and I think they were typing just a little bit too fast. But why do we not just say black? Why not? Why do we not say that?
Because it's not just black people.
Exactly. And the thing is
I mean,
that
it
when
could
we,
be Asian. I mean, let's just keep it real, right?
most Asian people are assaulted by who?
Asian people,
Most white people are assaulted by who?
white people, most black people
Most
are
black
still
people.
black people.
That's right.
Because you live within your own communities for the most part. I
That
feel
this
like
is why we don't say black, because it's not a black issue. It's more of an economic issue than anything else.
and I just kind of getting into the gun conversation of it, and as you know this as an owner of firearms myself, it's like I can understand to a certain degree why people would have such a negative vitriol regarding it, but I don't have the urge to like just go out into the street and start ripping shots off and hurting people, right?
Right.
Like if evil people are going to do evil deeds regardless. Like, I mean, you've seen it in other countries where they don't necessarily have the access to firearms or there's restrictions. I mean, I would argue that there's always going to be a black market, and if people really want to get access to guns, no matter what country you're in, you will find a way to get that access. But
Right.
you'll see knife, you'll see fist fights, you'll see like them use cars or just I would
Yep.
say jerry rigged type weapons. I mean, if you want to do evil things, you'll do evil
You'll
things.
find a way.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's at the end of the day, a gun, at least in my opinion, it's a tool,
Right.
and it can be used. How it's used,
Come
it's
on.
depend on
Guns don't kill people.
people do.
People kill people.
Yeah.
I'm not as much of a gun enthusiast as you, but I share your viewpoint when it comes to firearms. But I think that where I would deviate just slightly is that well, this is absolutely 100% true. But then the only thing is that like, how do you explain the poor white people that are out there doing that to each other? In the Asian communities, when the triads or whatever gang that is in that particular area is victimize their people, what's their excuse, right? Like, we already know about COINTELPRO. I mean, well, the people that know, they know. We understand what COINTELPRO was all about, which is what Tooth Fairy is alluding to here. But most people harm the people that live around them. And as much as they call the United States a melting pot, it's very, very segregated. So this is why we didn't just say black, because we understand that this is not a race issue. This is a class issue. It's an economic issue. It is a customs issue. So, oh yeah, we absolutely do have a triad problem. We do have a poor white people problem. It's just that it's not front and center on the news. But yeah, there are these pockets that they're not being covered by the national news, where people are suffering every single day. I mean, when we think about what the mob did here in New York City, what the mob has done in Boston, what they did in Chicago, in Las Vegas, and those entities are still alive today. They're not on the front page of the newspaper, but they are still running their rackets. They're still ending people's lives. They are still running protection schemes. The different races all have their issues. The criminal element is the criminal element, and it is not race related. It's easy to go there with the race. I'm tempted to go there with the race. I'm tempted to go there sometimes, but I have to take a step back and say, you know what? Let me not get irrational about this. Let me actually look at the facts for what they are.
I would say though, kind of pivoting a little bit to just kind of back to the story of the artist, kind of, I would say blaming themselves.
Oh, 1 second, Cap. Guys, if you want to know what we're talking about here, please, the link to the original video is in the description. Please go check that out. And this is also, I will address this, T-Rex. This is a good point, and this is true, and this is fair. and this is one of the things that we also need. We need to get away from the tribalism, because this is true. The vast majority of people are law-abiding citizens who don't bother nobody. But this is why the emotions start to get the best of me, and I'm thinking, why are we investigating? You're in a gang, just take them out back like Old Yeller. Just get rid of them so that the rest of the community can breathe. And obviously, I do have a problem with the way that El Salvador is just snatching up all the young men and just throwing them in prison and asking questions later. Mm-hmm. There is an issue with that. But if you listen to the people talk in El Salvador, where they weren't even able to go outside, and now they could go outside and they can, just breathe the fresh air and not worried, because they got rid of the criminal element and just said, fuck all the legal stuff, get these motherfuckers off the streets.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you start to think, like, for me, like I said, I have to woosah, because then I could start thinking that way too.
Well, I mean, honestly, you see, since the El Salvador stuff has happened and how they have those super prisons, you do see certain Americans like, oh, that's what we should do here. But, I mean, we built this country off certain guidelines and laws that El Salvador just does not give a shit about, and they just would snatch even the wrong people if they felt like it was gang related, which is a problem within itself. But, I mean, I could get the frustration, like, you know what, screw this. Like, why does a small subsect of the society ruin it for the rest of us, where we can't feel like we can be safe, right?
Right.
So I can understand that, like, rationale. I mean, again, like you said, I would definitely encourage people that are in this chat, people that watch this maybe after the fact, to click the link down below in the description, because it's a very riveting story. But I'll also say, like, kind of getting back into the conversation about personal protection and safety. I do think you just got to be very careful with how you carry yourself, and very careful about the situations you put yourself in, right?
But we know that, Cap. I mean, I think that's standard.
Some people, yeah, but okay, so me and you know that, right? And maybe some of the viewers
even
know
he
that.
admitted that he got caught slipping.
But I would say, like, reading some of the comments and just blaming it, because it happened in America, it's just only in America, and things of that nature. It's like,
I mean, we do have more of a problem per capita in our country than in other countries.
Right. I mean,
most other countries, not all, but
I would say
we also have a culture that glorifies violence, not just in rap music, but also in our action films. I mean, we would just talk about how much we love John Wick, right?
Yeah. But I feel like when you have a full functioning matured brain, you should understand that there's
but we don't live in that world. I want you to address this, because T-Rex makes a very valid admission here. Can you address this, please, Cap?
I wasn't racist until I was in my 30s. I tried to give everyone the benefit of the doubt my whole life, and it's got me assaulted, robbed, and taken advantage of. It sucks. So it sucks to be so jaded now.
Yeah, I think that this is a fair. I mean, some people might look at him and say, "Oh, well, there's no excuse." I can tell you, the vast majority of the racism, the overt racism that I suffered growing up, was at the hands of other black people. Right. So
yeah, I mean,
like, we need, if we're gonna go there, let's have like a full-fledged discussion on what that is. I think that when you get taught these life lessons, it'd be easy to judge T-Rex on his position, but that's not the right thing to do. And that's again, remember I was saying, what my father always said, don't see what people are showing you, see what's there. Now, a lot of people would have instantly kicked him out of the chat, because alluding to the fact that it's a race. Some people would have been like, get out of here, blah blah blah. But the thing is, when you hear somebody talk the way T-Rex was talking, right, you know that something is behind that, either something he's experienced or witnessed, right? And in his case, it's something that he's actually experienced. And I think that before we start hauling off and calling people racist, I think that it's important to break down and dissect what they've actually seen and what they have experienced that leads them to have those opinions, and level with them and acknowledge what happened to you was wrong. And I can see why you would have that prejudice if every time you look around somebody is putting your life on the line and they always look the same.
It's crazy. I didn't know me or you were Muslim. That is wild. Sorry, I'm just reading that. Listen, like, oh my god. Yeah. Let's
I mean, for people that don't like Islam, the only thing I need to tell you about when it comes to Islam is do your research on the Crusades.
Listen, I'm just
Okay.
I just gotta say this. Because I was reading the comments and he's talking about like sin and sin and sin. It's like, just because you keep saying that doesn't mean you're intelligent. You're coming off like a fucking jackass. I mean, I saw the beginning comments of the derogatory comments, and it's the same person that said something derogatory towards us, and then is talking this whole high they go about sin, and then it's just shut the fuck up. Like, really, just shut the fuck up. Like, you're.
I was gonna let him live.
No, I'm not gonna let him live because he's a fucking idiot. Like, why? Like, it's people like that just make me realize that this education system has fucking failed this country. Like, holy shit. How fucking dumb can you be? And listen, I don't even care if he has a certain, I would say, viewpoint on Islam, but like, just say, if either me or you have, like, we have a ties to dude, I grew up Catholic. Like, what the fuck? Like,
yeah, but like, know your history.
Like, holy shit. Like,
I mean,
they're like, yo, you had people in the church bending them boys over. Like, let's just call it what it is, man. Like, there is problems. Like, I'm going to rant here. There's problems with most organized religion.
This is actually not true, Lucas. Please do your research. This is actually not true.
I have the biggest problem with just organized religion as a whole, because people will take religion and take faith and twist it and bend it, and we see this from all faiths, to justify vile actions that they commit, whether that's Islam, Christianity, Judaism, whatever you want to follow, right? There is sects that are going to be crazy.
Look at Bimbo.
Yo. But
man,
yo,
he's going to shit on a Democrat of any era. He's going to find a way, right? Hey, I've been pushed towards more and more towards atheism the more I see how religion in general is run. Okay, but people don't understand, because I kind of want to help Lucas Ward to understand something. The Crusades was actually an issue with with there being a kind of like a diversion of the fact that the Roman Catholic Church had so much power over the monarchies in Spain, in France, and especially in the UK. And when they had these kings and queens that wanted to do what they wanted to do on their time, the way that they wanted to do stuff, they, started to kind of find ways to try to downplay what was going on at the Vatican. And then people didn't like the Roman Catholicism, so they created Protestantism in response to that.
Yeah.
So the Crusades wasn't just trying to convert people to so-called Christianity by the sword. They were also converting Protestants to Catholicism by the sword, because they believed that they had a divine order to make sure that everybody worshiped the cross.
I would say this, right? Neither of us are theology majors or have degrees in it. I've taken world theology classes just because I find them interesting. But I would say that just overall, at least, you could maybe disagree with this, but just from my perspective, anything man run by man, organized by man, where you have human beings in charge.
1,000,000% correct.
Like, it's just being prone to be corrupt. Because I do think a lot of religions have.
This guy hasn't read the Bible.
A lot of these religions and faiths can have very good messages behind them.
You want to talk about aggressive colonization? Read the Bible.
New Testament changes that, baby. No, but like, listen. I think when it kind of comes down to it, Yeah, it's just I can't really. I believe in a God. I just don't believe in this fucking worldly
I
bullshit
don't.
we
Yeah,
live
I
in.
don't believe in the religious structure that seeks to control your money and your thoughts and your behaviors. I think that you could be, and this is where we're going to agree with the Indian Jesus, is that you don't need to follow a religion to live a morally acceptable lifestyle.
You know, and I know this isn't necessarily the theme of this video, so I
Right.
apologize,
I
but
know that
like,
we've kind of but they're bringing religion into it, so we're following
but
what the viewers where the viewers are taking us.
but I'll say this, like, as someone that grew up in the Catholic Church and things of that nature, what kind of really desensitized, like, not sorry, not to, that's a terrible, that's not at all. I'm tired. What kind of turned me off and made me not want to really be involved with any type of like Catholic proceeding is the way in which they hid child predators within the church. And I saw
Mm-hmm.
that, like, and that actually happened with an elementary school I went to, St. Francis, right? They had a priest there that was apparently, getting busy with the kids, right? Like really, doing the Sunday school thing, like in some messed up way. And instead of like that guy facing jail time, they like ship him to a different diocese and like, kind of black it and try to like
No, they're
hide
still
it.
doing that today.
No, and that's the biggest problem I have. It's like, dude, like why are we allowing like why are you protecting these weirdos? Like why are you protecting these evil human beings and like try to masquerade them as them teaching the word of God when they're evil fucking trash that a 45 ACP bullet would be fucking beautiful in the back of their skull. Like why are
Mm-hmm.
we wasting time and trying to protect it? And that's what kind of I'll be honest with you, that's
They
what
knew to get
turned me
rid of
off.
Larry Nasser Jr. They knew to get rid of him.
Yeah.
But the religious version of him, nah, we're gonna let that slide.
It's just, dude, it just makes me, I would say, sad in a way that, you have certain people that will try to excuse or protect people that do evil things because, like, well,
Mm-hmm.
they're this religion or they're this
Yeah.
pastor or something of that nature. It's
Yep.
like, no, like that person should be held responsible for the evil deeds that they do.
Yeah. One hundred
And,
percent.
and it's just like as I've gotten older, right? Like what he said before, like he got jaded overall with race and
Yeah.
things of that nature.
Yeah.
I've gotten jaded with religion because it's like I believe in God, but I just don't believe in all this other bullshit that's like happening on Earth, right?
Yeah.
Where you're having these people try to justify their evil actions
He's talking about
through
this here.
religion and terrible things. It's
Yeah.
crazy. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
We're not going to address that comment because I think that that's debatable, and we don't want to run afoul of the YouTube guidelines. We do hear you, T-Rex. We do hear you. And again, remember, guys, this is TSP. We accept everybody's opinions over here, whether you agree
I
with
just
us or
don't
not.
accept his though. That's crazy. I don't accept the no, but no. Sorry. I didn't
Yeah, yeah. I mean, there's certain people that we're not allowed to examine totally, and they are from a certain country, and they have a certain religion. And black women, we're not allowed to talk. We're not allowed to critique black women and the other, right? Uh, but right. We're not allowed. There's certain protected groups on YouTube
Oh my god.
where so please respect the fact that we are financially in the hole, having had this podcast up for 4 years, and we have paid to bring content to you guys. We would still like to protect the health of the channel by avoiding using certain Z words
Yeah.
on the podcast, right? But yeah, I could definitely understand where TRX is coming from. And again, like I used to be racist against black people too, because every single time something was being brought to me, which I alluded to this when I talked to you about what happened to Genus
Yeah.
and why it was so personal to me. He showed a picture of himself at the end of. I'm sorry, this is funny.
Yeah, dude. Listen.
I'm sorry, that's funny.
Listen,
I had to post that one.
Listen, that might happen. We don't know, man. Like we took Venezuela
It's
in a
gonna
night.
it's gonna cost $700 billion, but whatever. America first. Okay, yeah. So you know what? This is actually kind of sort of fair too, but I will say to you here, Gibasir the Kicker. I do want, because I actually saw this. I was looking at Destro Reborn. Guys, that is a great channel, right? And one of the guys was saying something in the comments saying that, well, these women are out here lying, so don't feel bad about lying to them. And my response to that comment was, don't deal with women that you feel like you have to lie to. Why should you give them the power of changing who you are as a human being in the way that you think and feel? Nah, fuck that. You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck that.
You know what?
I get the whole, you becoming radicalized because of rumors being spread about you. But then when you actually go and follow through with it, then they win. They get to control your emotions. They get to control your opinions, and you allow them to be right in public. Like, why should they get that kind of power over you and your public image? Nah, fuck that. Fuck that. You don't need to do that. Like, if you're, and the thing is, we always know that the father of the girlfriend is going. I have experience with the father of the girlfriend doing some, going where he didn't need to go. I've been there.
Yeah.
All right, I'm not gonna, we cool today. We cool today.
Opens up the door. He's like, "You're black now, my God."
But 20 years ago it was a little something different. Okay, I know exactly what this is about. Trust me.
Shotgun on the porch.
Right, like we're not gonna get into any kind of details on that, because me and him we're cool today, but 20 years ago it wasn't like that. Okay.
Yeah. He saw him the color of this hockey puck and was like, "Nah, not today, not my God."
It's always a bad idea, and that's one of the things I had to learn growing up, and I had to learn my history. Far as having black ancestors and knowing where a lot of the shit that I went through coming up, where that came from, that I had to let go of my bias against black people that I had since I was in grade school. So I had to let that go in favor of actual accurate knowledge. And don't let people run your emotions so that you're not even reacting rationally anymore, because it's really no different than these assholes that shot this artist. They had no reason to shoot at this guy.
Nah, unless they just didn't like the show. No, I'm joking. No, but listen, I just think when it comes down to it, it's how do I put this? Life is just too short to be filled with anger. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, life is too short, bro. Like, I've had some, really heavy things happen over the last few years.
Mm-hmm.
And it just,
both of us.
Yeah, both of us, actually, yeah. And it's just, to me, it's like when you lose, loved ones, the people that you cherish and care for, and then you kind of take a step back, right? Because, I mean, let's just keep it real, right? You know I do have... I've had issues dealing with anger, right? Like I've had with my time.
How many times have you just walked off the podcast 2 years ago?
but be real, like we've known each other for about over a decade now at this point. Like you knew me when I was young and I was super I was real bad with the anger. And I've kind of mellowed out and I feel like I've calmed down a lot from what I used to be. And I think a lot of it is just life puts things in perspective. Like, why am I going to be so angry about shit, right?
You do 13-hour shifts. Used to do 3 weeks on, 3 weeks off. Once you go through those situations, a lot of the shit that is meant to rile us up, it doesn't hold the same power over us as it used to.
Well, and it's just, I think outside of work and career path and maturing, it's just when it kind of comes down to it, why am I gonna hate on another motherfucker that didn't do nothing to me? That's just kind of how I look at it. Now, mind you, there's stupid people in this world that make me wish, hey, maybe some days I look at that Mossberg, I'm like, you ever start
dumping off?
Yeah, you ever ever decide to start starting a shotgun? But it's just when it kind of comes down to it, right? Outside the stupidity,
starting the shotgun starts with your big toe on the trigger.
Like listen, like that forged the idiot, right? It's like certain people. It's like, yeah, this world deserves, this country or this world needs a culling, right, to the stupidity of this sect. But at the end of the day, it's like, yeah, it's whatever, right? Like, why be angry and stuff? I'll crack jokes about it, laugh about it, but I just think
He's got a name for it. The Remington Retirement Plan. Oh man,
that's actually a great. I'm using that.
Now, members of the military, they talk about the I just forgot the phrasing, but that's a common military phrase.
Yeah,
yeah.
But I think when it comes down to it, man, it's just you kind of learn as more things happen in life that really the only thing that matters is your loved ones, the people around you. The politics, I get it, like it does impact life, but really in the grand scheme of things, right? Like politics or political party affiliation, none of that shit really matters, man. Like you got one life. Spend time with your loved ones, spend time with your friends and people that really cherish you. Don't get caught up in this worldly bullshit.
Yeah, bullshit.
I'm not saying to not pay attention and be educated and be involved in certain things that you really believe in. But at the end of the day, man, it's all. I mean, it's a short life, man. Might as well live it to the fullest, in my opinion.
I'm trying to see if that's no, that's not a BMW.
No.
That's it's not an Audi either. I always like to check out people's cars. In New York, those undercarriage lights are illegal, but
are they?
Yeah, you're not allowed to have those lights underneath the car.
Because New York's a lawless, godless city.
Yeah, they're fucking dumb. But I do want to say this. Oh, shit. I know you, TV viewer ski. I know you. I know you.
That's crazy. That is.
Thanks
crazy.
for coming by, man. Thanks for coming by, man. I remember you from Lutch's situation, but I gotta say this, right? I gotta say this, and I know some people are not gonna like this, and this is something that the more conservative black people, because I told you the older I get, the more conservative I get, and it's something that I notice, right? This is something that I notice. When the young man in Florida, Trayvon Martin, got murdered by that wannabe white guy.
Hey, listen, no, do not. He's not a part of the white delegation. Like, give him.
I said wannabe.
Nah, listen, relax.
Okay.
All right.
Relax. How many gangsta thug niggas went to go get Zimmerman? This is the thing that pisses me off, because when you see what happened to the young man, the original video is in the description. I highly recommend you watch this young man's video. Okay? It's got over 630,000 views. Okay? He only has 136,000 subscribers. Please go watch this video. The young man genius, a really, really good digital animator. Please watch the video. Okay? They felt gangsta and thug enough to go after a dude by himself who was in the street by himself, and you could tell he had no gang affiliation. They went after let's just call it what it is, because this is where I come from and this is how I was treated. You could not tell me he was not a 29-year-old white man before he showed the picture of himself at the end of the video. You could not convince me that this kid was black.
I mean, I knew he was black. I mean,
I didn't.
Dude, you could tell.
Nah, not from just listening to his voice. Remember, I told you I didn't. Nah, he sounded the same way that I sounded at the same age.
I don't know, man. I could sense. I could sense it, man.
Yeah, I can sense you ginger motherfuckers too.
Listen, bro, does this just mean I'm blacker than you? That's crazy. No, but
but here's the deal. They knew, and this is what I think really happened. They knew he was an easy fucking target.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Right? They didn't go after a gangster thug. They didn't go after Zimmerman. They didn't go after, I still haven't heard anybody go after the kid that shot up the church in South Carolina.
Isn't he in jail?
Yeah, yeah. But I didn't hear about anybody putting a green light on him. I haven't heard of a shiv hitting this kid.
I mean,
Why is it that they always want to be a gangster thug against their own brethren in their own communities? But real, like going out there and being supported with, what was it? They gave him the acquittal. They gave Zimmerman the acquittal. You want to go after the nerdy looking young light skinned black guy that ain't bother nobody. You want to dump shots at him. But y'all ain't got no heat for niggas like Zimmerman. Please explain that to me. That shit is always going to piss me off.
I mean, but it's really kind of circumstantial. I mean, let's be real. Like, people are just like, they see a target, they see an easy victim, an easy mark, they're going to go after that, right? Like, they're just not, like, I would say, how would I put this shit? Most movements, like, people are down to be affiliated, but they're not really down to put the work in. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I'm not really as surprised with that. I mean, it's sad.
Is it weird that we get a lot of people coming in with gaming channels when we started out in the gaming sphere?
No,
We left gaming, and the gamers are still following us. I think that's dope.
I mean, you left gaming. I still game. You
No. I'm talking about on we used to actually
YouTube.
run channels.
Oh yeah.
Based on gaming.
With the gameplay commentary.
Yeah.
No. Sorry. Okay, listen. I mean, yeah, no, that's definitely kind of fun. It's like full circle moment. I miss those gameplay commentary days, bro. Some of the stuff that
The mob still went and got Whitey Bulger when he was in a fucking wheelchair.
Well, the mafia works different, bro. Like
but that's the problem. That's the problem. If they got a problem with you, they gotta make sure they come see you, right? They're not about, I see a fellow Italian, let me go rob and kill him. That wasn't their thing.
Well, I mean, they did kill each other a lot, though, to be fair.
But that wasn't their thing. If they needed to go and get you, they went and got you. But when you got the Zimmermans, the George Zimmermans out there, the so-called gangster thug got nothing for them.
I mean, listen.
I don't understand that.
I would say because the mafia is far more organized, right? Let's just call it what
You'd be surprised how organized the street gangs are. In fact, all of the motherfuckers watch The Godfather. They have the same hierarchies. But they're more organized than you think. But they're more geared towards killing people that look like themselves than anything else.
Listen, I still would, I get what you're trying to say here, but I would argue that the mafia has greater reach, and I feel like gangs, I mean, at least from my experience with it, are more local and more regional. If that makes sense, you get what I'm trying to say.
Right.
Where the mob has kind of connections like everywhere. You know, like you could be in Nebraska. Husking corn or something, and if you did something or you spoke about something or broke the oath, you get two in the back of your head in the fields. So but yeah, I mean,
going a little bit more lighthearted to end the stream because that shit got me heated. Just even thinking about that shit got me fucking heated. Super Gaming says, "What games did you or do you used to play?" Yeah, you want to answer that question first?
Oh shit, bro! Like, so when we did the commentaries, it was Call of Duty. That was like what we did.
That's how we met. We met in the Black Ops 2 days.
Yeah, we played a lot of Call of Duty. I used to play professionally, or like not when it was very smaller scene, not like what it was today, which was crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Which plays in tournaments in like World at War or COD 4. That shit was fun as hell, like Modern Warfare 2. A big Call of Duty head, and then obviously I played other games as well. But like for the YouTube side of things, it was mainly COD commentaries. I would say the same thing for you, right? That we mainly did Call of Duty commentaries, and then just kind of I took a hiatus from making content for like years. Like I forget how many years, but I took a pretty big hiatus just because I had a lot going on. But yeah, man, it was fun. So I mean, what games I play right now? I play Arc Raiders. I'll play NHL. I'll play. I don't really play Call. I'll play Battlefield 6. I'll play various different games. I kind of stopped liking Call of Duty though. I will say that. Just
Yeah, we could
it
do a
got
whole fucking podcast on
yeah,
that.
it got a little too off the reserve with where they went in direction. I'm
Yeah.
you know, like Fast and Furious, like the movie series, like
Yo, we were joking.
yo,
Those niggas gonna go to space,
yo,
and then what did
went
they
to,
do?
They went to space, bro. That's the thing, bro. That's the crazy thing. That's the
We were
funniest thing,
joking
bro.
about that, and then they went to space. Oh my god.
Dude. And that was like just a meme coming to friggin' real life. It was crazy, but yeah, no, I think that's
So my history in gaming, I go back to the Nintendo Entertainment System. First time I played a video game, I think 1987, 1988. This was the time of Super Mario 1, 2, and 3. I still think that Super Mario Brothers 3 is a top 3 game of all time. I was very, very lucky to get a Game Boy. Oh, Atari 2600. I did get what was it? Pitfall,
oh yeah.
you know? Yeah. I did have a little bit of that Atari 2600 action growing up as well. So TV might be about as old or older than me. The Game Boy, I played the hell out of Tetris and Super Mario Brothers and Paperboy, and I beat a whole bunch of the Pokemon games, up through the 90s. But around that time, I see what you did there. Nice meme. Nice. So I grew up in the hood in the 1990s. So we're talking about when Mortal Kombat came out, Time Killers. We're talking about like fucking
Yeah.
like 2D fighting games was like really taking over. We had X-Men, Children of the Atom. We had Marvel superheroes. We had Killer Instinct 1 and 2. We had all of the Mortal Kombats. I mentioned Time Killers. Then there was the whole Marvel versus thing with X-Men versus Street Fighter, and all of that shit, right?
Yeah.
So like I really got like really really heavy into that, and then Cruising USA came out, and they had like a couple of different things that came after that. So I turned that game into a science. I remember Wave Runners on fucking Game Boy, right? And then like I didn't have like PlayStation or anything like that, but I got heavy into NBA Jam, NBA Showtime, NBA on NBC, NFL Blitz. I got big into NHL 95 and the NBA Live from like in the 90s. And then like from there, once I had Darkstalkers Chronicle, one of the first games that came out on PSP, and I had a couple of games. Golden Sun is a fucking legendary ass game on Game Boy Advance. Like if you never got a chance to play Golden Sun 1 and 2, please do that. Like especially for its time, the visuals and the gameplay, legendary.
I never played it.
Dude, Golden Sun on Game Boy Advance. Like I had so many Game Boy Advance Game Boy Advance SP, the whole bit, right? And then I gotta tell you, like I went and then I remember
Excuse me.
that's when like going like into like the 2000s, because I used to play the PSP hard body. I had Japanese PSP 1000, 2000, 3000, different colors, all kinds of games, all kinds of that shit, right? But then Need for Speed was a big one for me too. I used to really do a lot of that. But then when Call of Duty Modern Warfare, when Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare came out, that's when I very nearly ruined the rest of my life and my marriage, my forthcoming marriage.
Jesus Christ.
She would get so mad because I would be screaming at niggas at 2 o'clock in the morning, and she's like 2 feet away in the bed trying to sleep. And I was just raging on Call of Duty at all hours of the day and night. I'm so sorry, Mrs. Evil. I do love you. I realize how much of a piece of shit I was back then. I apologize forever and ever and ever.
I mean,
But it was Call of Duty, and then I met you through JD from NY. Shout out to JD. And we started to like really. I think we were talking about Ghost. Remember, it was the first collaboration I had ever done on YouTube. Was with you.
yep.
And we had the dual commentary where we were like, all right, what are we gonna, what is Ghost gonna be like? We were talking about that whole thing. Oh yeah, Left 4 Dead 2, right? Hell yeah, right? And then we started playing that game. We did the Black Ops 3 thing, and then I got stuck on Infinite Warfare for a long time because Call of Duty went in the trash after that. The last great Call of Duty was Infinite Warfare. And the only people that disagree with me are people that hit the dislike button on the reveal video and never played the game.
Listen, Infinite Warfare was just. I played the game. At the time, I just thought the servers weren't the greatest at launch. And then it just kind of turned me off from that game in general.
It got really good after that, except that in year 2, they did one more final weapon update where they elevated the Titan Light machine gun over every other gun in the game. And then it was just like Synaptic Rig and Titan weapon, and people refused to use anything else because it was that fucking dominant. And then you call them out on it, and you tell them to use a different gun and a different rig. They didn't want to do it.
You know what I'll say. Like for me, my first gaming console actually was a Sega Genesis. So like the first
Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis.
Yeah. Dude, I like the first game I played was like Sonic, and then
Which one?
The first one. The first.
Okay, which was the best Sonic game in your opinion?
Oh shit, I played them all. You know what was? I would say probably Sonic 2.
I was about to say, any answer other than Sonic 2 is the wrong answer.
But you know what was cool? Remember that cartridge that like was Sonic and Knuckles? Right?
Yes.
Yeah, bro. You couldn't use it on Sonic 1, but I thought that was like a cool little thing because you could use a 2 or 3 cartridge.
Yep.
And then I played a lot of the Sonic games. I played NHL 94, 95 on that.
Yep.
And then there was what was the God? What is the name of the actual video game? I'm drawing a blank. It's like a 3D model character. Like it's like floating like balls for arms and like legs and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
What's his name? I played that shit out of that game. I really liked that game quite a bit because it was just like hard bosses and difficult to play. But and then after Sega, I went to PlayStation.
Oh, I gotta ask you this: did you play Earthworm Jim 1 and 2?
Yes. Oh fuck yeah, dude!
Dude,
and it sounded I would say this.
Rayman was he was talking about.
One of the rare games that I would say sounded better on the Genesis in comparison to the Nintendo, Super Nintendo, because it just the grittiness of the Sega Genesis system and like kind of like how it sounded a little bit more metal. Dude, I loved it. I preferred a little bit of the sound.
The Game Gear, the batteries would die so fucking fast in the Game Gear.
Like the Game Gear had a good idea.
I loved it, but you had to plug that bitch in the wall.
Dude, you needed to it wasn't a portable console. It just wasn't, bro.
It's crazy that we went back to that because you know how they have like the handheld PCs and all that shit. I forget what they call those. But it's like we've gone right back to that.
Dude, it is kind of weird, right? Like a lot of things go to like just in cycles. Yeah, it is kind of funny. I mean, when you think about it, like for example, like the Nintendo Switch, right? Like it's a console, but it's really just like a really more of a portable gaming console. But yeah, man, it's like I went to PlayStation. I was actually a big Sony person for the longest time.
Me too.
PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3. I got that at launch, and that shit was stupid expensive.
Yeah, oh yeah, it was $600.
Dude, it was crazy. I was blessed that year. That was the only gift I got
But
as a
remember,
kid.
they also changed it to where like the Cadillac of the PS3s was the very original one, because there was certain things that you can do with the very original one, and they took it out maybe a year later.
Yeah,
So
no,
everybody
yeah,
wanted the original Fat Boy PS3,
because that's what
the
I
original
have.
original. Yeah.
Dude, that's the one I had, dude. Like it was like you could play PlayStation 1 games on it, PlayStation 2, and there was just so many cool features with that.
Hmm.
And PlayStation 3. Then I ended up getting an Xbox 360 somewhere in that cycle. I was never one of those people that fell into those like console war types. Like it's either Xbox or Sony. I would play any console. Like 'cause I had a Super
I stuck with
Nintendo.
Sony, man, and then I got an Xbox One.
The Xbox. I have the Xbox One. I had a PS4 for like a minute, and then I got rid of it because I just played my Xbox. And then
Mm.
like when the Xbox upgraded, the only Sony console I didn't get was the PS5.
We needed one of these comments. This we were not. This is not going to be a good video game discussion without this comment. This comment is a prerequisite for all conversations about gaming. And as a reminder, guys, please. I know that we're kind of ending off kind of like on a nostalgia trip, but the theme of this podcast being, for this particular episode is showing some support to this artist Genus. Please go to his channel. I know that we have way less subscribers than him, but I think that his video was really important. He's a very, very talented digital creator, digital artist. And please click that link in the description. Please hear his story. I think that it really is important to listen to that type of story. But back to that.
I didn't like
The PSP is how I found out about Coheed and Cambria, right?
That's crazy.
That's how I found out about Coheed and Cambria.
How
You want to hear that story real quick
Yeah,
before you leave?
Yeah, how the fuck did that happen? Like, how did
All
you
right,
find a
so-
band? Okay.
I was homeless in 2003, and I scraped together a little bit of money that I would get from my job, my little bullshit manual labor in the middle of the night job, and I got the very first Nintendo DS when it came out. But since I really didn't have like even really a place to live, I was living in a homeless shelter at the time. One of my managers at my job helped me by convincing his wife to have her father rent me a room in a different part of the city. So while I was there, the PSP was coming out, but I'm broke as fuck, right? I'm just trying to stave off homelessness at this point. PSP is coming out, and GameStop was offering like extra credit for like a Nintendo DS and games to put towards the pre-order of the PSP.
Yeah.
So I was able to scrape up just enough. I had Madden NFL on the DS. I had like two other games. There was a Super Mario Brothers game. There was like a 3-dimensional game, like the first. It might have been Super Mario 3D or not 3D, Super Mario DS or whatever. The first Super Mario game. I had like 3 games. I traded the 3 games and the DS in for the PSP, and I had just enough to do to get Darkstalkers Chronicle, because I really had nothing.
Yeah.
Right? So because I only had one game, I looked at the demo disc. Now, remember that this was like the first time that they had like the mini disc type shit.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I remember that.
And like they were really trying to show that like the PSP wasn't just a gaming, it was multimedia. You can listen to music, you can watch movies, the whole bit, right? So on the demo disc, they fit like demos for like 3 games. And they had 3 music videos, and they had a clip for something else, like to kind of show off, Sony movies that they had at the time, like Spider-Man or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they had a music video from a band named Crossfade that I still like today. They had a music video.
Colors, that song Colors.
Yeah. That's a good song. That's a good song.
Yeah.
There was also a band called Kasabian
Yeah.
that I did from that video. I actually liked that video. Mm-hmm. And the third video on there was Blood Red Summer by Coheed and Cambria. That is how I discovered Coheed and Cambria.
And that's how you became a cult member.
Yeah, well, I mean, I didn't become a cult member until I started to investigate other songs and I heard Delirium Trigger and then In Keeping Secrets of Silent Earth. When I heard those two, it's like, well, I might as well just worship at the altar of Claudio Sanchez at this point. So, yeah.
You know what's interesting? Because, like, I would say this, right? Like, because you know how a lot of people will want the original system, right? Like, the original thing. I do think there is actually some validity to what he's saying. Like, these emulators that you can get, or, I mean, even, like, these secondhand, like, aftermarket consoles you can get that just run better because it's more modern technology.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is kind of interesting because I know a lot of people like are really into the authenticity, but man, I remember, bro, with some of those older consoles, like with some of my Sega, my original Nintendo, I played like the original Mario Brothers and stuff of that nature.
Yeah,
like man, some of the technical and like bugs, like you have to replace. I remember, I think it was in the original Nintendo, you would actually have to replace like one of the pulleys in there because after a while it would just go. But yeah, so I think like, admittedly,
you should have just got a Game Genie. And that would have solved that problem.
A fucking Game Genie, bro. Damn.
And on that note, I got a personal training client that is like, yo, I'm warming up. I'm like, yo, give me 10 minutes. Yeah, I got a personal training client that wants me to help him physically prepare for him, because he's learning how to ski. So I'm running a program with him now to kind of help him with, he's interested in skiing right now. So I'm training him for the sport. So, I got to get in the gym and I got to help this young man. But, this episode was fire. I really did like the feedback because this show is your show, guys. Right? This show is yours. As much as we run this, we like to talk about interesting things that interest us and give our perspectives, and we listen to your perspectives, and then the show becomes yours. So, will you have time to be back tomorrow, Cap?
I mean, dude, listen, like I'm probably gonna go to sleep after like I make dinner. So I'm only supposed to. Tomorrow's supposed to be my last day, allegedly. Not last day of the week. So we'll see.
Damn, you quitting already? You just got that job.
Nah, bro, dude, listen, dude, I got a crazy paycheck for like.
I'm gonna put on my armed robberies,
bro. Listen, I don't want to get shot. But as
soon as she saw the black Air Force, she was like, all right.
But like, yeah, bro, I got a crazy paycheck. I was like, yo, like that's after taxes, wild. But yeah, no, man, I think that I should be free tomorrow. I get home usually after work around 14:30, 1500. So like, sorry, 2:30 or 3 o'clock. Mm-hmm. And so I mean, we could definitely go live again. We're just like whatever we want to talk about, we can do, and kind of go from there. I know you gotta go. I'm fucking exhausted. I'm like running on fumes. But this was a dope conversation. A little bit of seriousness. Yeah. Then we went to the religion. Then I dealt with fucking. Then I dealt with a fucking idiot.
And yo, Cap never blocks anybody on this channel.
Bro, listen, like
Cap never blocks anybody on this channel. Yeah, and when I saw that went up, I was like,
listen, I just believe some people should just chomp on a cyanide pill and call it a day, dog. Like that's just me. But when it comes down to it, we went to had a little bit of stupidity, but then we had a really good conversation, man. We had some serious conversation, then we ended it with gaming. This was a random ass podcast, man.
The reason why I don't play my my Marvel vs. Capcom cabinets as much as I would like to, in part, is because I'm worried that if I start playing on this thing aggressively, I'm gonna have the joystick module replaced way more often than I wanted to. So I kind of shy away from playing my arcade cabinet as much as I'd like. But anyway, I got to get the fuck out of here. This guy wants me to help him fuck up his quads and his calves. So I gotta get this guy squatting.
No diddy. All right, guys, you know the fucking drill. This is a black-owned business. If you want to support the minority community, right, we're here. And we got. But listen, I'm fucking tired. Let's call it a fucking day. And if you guys are new here, hit that subscribe button, that like button,
or hit the dislike button, because our opinions don't really mean shit.
No, they don't mean shit. And I'll say this: forge the fire, through fire, whatever. Fuck you. And we'll see you in the next one.
Don't say what you said yesterday. Let me end the stream before you say that 3-letter F word again. Chill. All right, peace, y'all. Peace.
Oh, Jesus, Jesus.